ago, Barack Obama promised us hope and change.
Vote for Obama.
Certainly one of the storylines in the 2012 election is what will the youth turnout look like. Now clearly 4 years ago, Obama and his campaign were able to expand the voting pool, and one of the ways they would do that was to energize young voters. If you look at the voter registration numbers, there hasn't been much drop-off. The question, of course, is will they turn out to vote?
I think the hardest part is just getting people to take the time out to understand what's going on about the deficit and about jobs and unemployment. And it's hard at this age when we're also focused on school and just passing our classes to really get a grip on this is our future. It's not just right now. We're not talking about just 4 more years. We're talking about our kids' kids.
It's always a challenge to get young voters out. But that's why we have such a big presence here on campus. Because sometimes the students, if you don't tell them to go do something or you can do it right now, they're not going to do it. They're lazy, they procrastinate. I know, I do it sometimes. So being able to be here and be, okay, voting, library, you can do it right now. I'll walk you to the library if you don't know where it is. We can go as far as the front doors and then send them on their merry way and give them directions on where the voting polls are.
A substantial number of young people, you have this as their first election. And first-time voters are always the hardest to get because they don't know the rules, they haven't had the experience of doing it before, they may be peripherally engaged in politics and thus don't feel that they know enough to figure out which candidate to vote for. So all of these problems are perennial ones with young voters.
In the past, I didn't think that I should vote because I didn't know enough about the candidates to be able to make a justified choice. You know, it would be by last name or something, you know. And so after I started doing a little bit more, or getting a little bit more information and doing some more research and having more background on the candidates, I felt like, okay, well now I can make a more intelligent decision.
I've voted in every election I've been invited to vote in. I think voting is important. Oh, I don't understand politics is one I hear a lot, or politics are dumb. Politics are important. They shape what is going to happen through the rest of your life, and why bother waiting until it's too late to get into them?
We know that voters tend to be habitual, that people get accustomed to voting, both just the act itself, but also voting for a particular party. And so the parties understand that building a relationship with young people is something that's going to pay off for them in the long run. But unfortunately, campaigns don't think very well in the long run.
Young people matter because ultimately this is going to be our country. The baby boomers, so-called, have had their time and they've run our country, but we're the next generation. 4 years ago, everyone was so in their heads, they were so sick of what President Bush has brought to this table. They saw the economy at that time that was bad, and they wanted change. And Obama came in speaking fantastically, coming in, giving us that hope for change. And I feel like for the first time they had a president that went after the younger vote. Personally, from my perspective and a lot of my friends' perspectives, in those 4 years, the economy that was promised to us is worse. The jobs that were promised to us aren't there. The future that was promised us that was going to be so much better and so much more changed isn't there. And people are just getting mad, and that makes people want to make a difference.
He may have lost a lot of people based on the fact that he preached hope and change, and some things didn't change. Some people don't have jobs. So I think that is where the struggle has been in getting people to be as enthusiastic about Barack. 4 years ago is when I was really excited about a candidate, and then I'm, back again because I still believe in Barack Obama.
In a close race like this, I mean, you want to go find every voter you can. The Democrats, you would think they would have the natural advantage with younger voters, just given some of the issue positions, given just the sort of broader coalition the Democrats tend to stitch together. But you've seen, as I said, at least on campus, you've seen, I think, a much stronger push by the Republicans, the young Republicans on campus here. Again, I don't know what the payoff is going to be, but at least they're showing up.
If the students don't turn out the way that they did in 2008, or more so, then our campaign will suffer. Our president will suffer. He might not get reelected because of that. We noticed the difference in 2008 that the student vote really, really, really makes a difference. When you have minorities that come out and vote, it just, it tilts the election.
Our generation has to take control of the situation. We have to understand that this is our future. It's not just that we're sitting here at school
and we're all just handing out stickers trying to get you to vote one way or the other. We're trying to get you to vote for your future. We're trying to get you to understand that this isn't just today. Everybody's always talking down on our generation. They don't pay attention. They don't read history. They don't do this. They don't do that. We're here. We're paying attention. And, you know, it makes me feel patriotic about our country and where we're going.
I think that it's very important for us as students to get active because our voice matters just as well as everybody else's. I don't care if you're 65 or if you're, my little brother is 7 and he was like, yeah, we need people to vote. And Obama, and I'm like, what are you don't even know what you're talking about. And he's like, yes, I do. He's like, we need people to vote so that we can have a good country. And he's like, this is our country and we have to live here. So if a 7-year-old who is still in elementary school can get it, then you're 18, you're 19, you're 20, 21, why aren't you voting?